Woohoo! Hello, Facebook world. It is so lovely to see you again. I'm here with the lovely Miriam Brewer. And I am Jess DuBose. I am a coach and an author. I help people transform their grief into their superpower. So whether that's the death of a loved one or heartbreak or anything else, because the reality is most people are grieving with COVID, something in their lives. So whatever is coming through as grief, I help people really connect with themselves so that they can feel their grief and heal it and then step into their power and stand in the highest versions of themselves. And today we're going to be doing some coaching with Miriam today. I love to show people what coaching is all about because I get asked often what coaching is, and it's more of an experience than it is to be described. And so here, Miriam is going to experience what coaching is like with me, and I'm going to let her introduce herself before we move forward.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jess. It's so nice to be here. I am an attunement healer / coach / masterful creator of the now. I've been doing this work for probably my whole life, but it really kicked in when I was 14. And I have the pleasure of working with you as well, behind the scenes, which is beautiful. So my intention for this is to walk out of this coaching session not necessarily cringing when I think of my mother. And I've been working on this my whole life.
That is a beautiful intention.
Thank you.
Yeah. So why do you cringe every time you think of your mother?
That's a really good question. One side of it is memories of who I am in her presence and who I become. And the other side of it is when I forgive her, I give her this much and then she wants to take that much. And the other thing is I cannot stand hearing her voice. It's a lot. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. This is what's coming through for you. And you get to not make that wrong. Yeah. So let's start with her voice. When you imagine hearing her voice, what goes on in your body?
I kind of feel like my shoulders want to go up around my ears. My arms become incredibly tense. And I kind of feel like this, like trying to get away. That's just when I hear her voice.
Wow. Beautiful. Are you still in relationship with your mom?
I would not call it a relationship. I would call it a tolerance.
That makes sense to me. Do you want to be in tolerance with your mom?
Every time I have, like even if we go to lunch, I try to go to lunch different places where I go once and I don't have to go back there. Like I'm constantly once I took her on my 40th birthday, we went to one of my favorite places and it took me years to get over going back there because she started instantly attacking me. And my husband actually but took my hand and said, Miriam, we don't need to listen to this. And we walked out before our food came back. So it came to actually. So it's my experiences with her. So I don't even remember what you asked me because it's that present for me.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you want to still be in tolerance with your mom.
Truthfully, my life would be easier without her, but seeing as I've seen daughters lose their mother, and I know about forgiveness and I know about higher source, I feel I should because I'm an only child and she's got no one else. So it's duty rather than care.
So what if you let go of that should and just did what you wanted to do, what would that look like for you?
Well, I'd be more individual. I still, because of the Jewish background, go, this is what you should do. This is what the 10 Commandments say. This is honor your parents. You should be like it's a should. And it actually disconnects my body. My head tells me what I should do, and I'm pointing to my abdomen. My abdomen tells me, don't put yourself in any situations where you're going to get hurt again.
Yeah. So as um, a coach and a healer, and you know a lot of the practices of forgiveness and moving through this healing, you know a lot of this stuff. If any of you ever have the privilege to work with Miriam, I would encourage you to. So you know a lot of these things, and it still seems like there's some sort of disconnect there. Just like you said, there's like a disconnect between your head and your body. So why are you continuing to still listen to your head?
Well, remember we named Penelope, my ego. She stops me. Well, she tried to. She doesn't anymore. Maybe if I had a discussion with her around what it's experience, it's so ingrained, and I so don't want to come back and do this again. So I feel like if I do all the right things this lifetime and I keep struggling through because there's no one else and she's a human and she put me on the earth, and then I won't have to do it again, because I do have a belief around past life. And I believe I've come back over and over and over again in this relationship. And it's narcissistic to me. And I don't label stuff, but that's what it feels like. And I hear her cry. I hear her scream at me. And then this little girl comes out, and I kind of want to protect the little one inside. And then I just lose my shit completely. And start, so I kind of go back to a 16-year-old or yeah. So what was the question, Jess? Sorry, I'm right in it.
It's okay. Why are you still choosing to listen to your head? And Penelope, you said something about Penelope. What about Penelope is coming forward? Your ego.
My Shigo.
She goes.
It's like doing the right thing. Do it anyway, even if it causes you suffering. Do it anyway, even if it causes me suffering. Because most people in my world have great relationships with their mums, and this is my biggest piece. And if I get this right or wrong, it doesn't really matter, but if I get this, then maybe I'll break the lineage for my daughter. Or I don't know, it's like put it this way, I only answer the phone when I'm in a really lovely state to her. I don't answer the phone. I kind of get a feeling when something's not right, so I let her ring me. But if I don't have that feeling, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing that today. So maybe this is the key.
Say more about that.
Maybe I am doing a good job, but it may not look that way in her eyes as an 80-year-old or however old she is, a 1943 baby. So however old she is, I'm doing the best I can with the most I can with what I know, and also not protecting, but just allowing when it feels right and when it doesn't feel right. So maybe I am doing a good job in my world, not necessarily in her world.
Yeah. So can you celebrate yourself for doing a good job?
I would, if I could fully embody that. Let me tell you, I would, because I feel like crying, like there's tears coming. I think it's the programming. Like, as much as I've worked on this, even when my husband sometimes says something that she would have says, it triggers me. And he doesn't mean it. It's can I celebrate? Yeah, I can. I think I have to practice that. Celebrating, oh my God, I didn't fight with her when I do speak to her. Celebrating, oh, she dropped off the bagels and I didn't have to answer the door because I've got a client here. Celebrating something that I admire in her, maybe. I don't know. That's digging deep. But that she put me on the planet. I can celebrate that. And then I can come to, yes, this is a good practice. This is a good practice. Thank you.
Yeah. So celebrating that she put you on the planet, but also celebrating that you are most times holding boundaries with your phone calls with her, right? If you're not in a space and you don't want to answer, you don't.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever given myself that acknowledgement. I'm just like, it always feels like a battle. So I don't think I've seen this flip side of I get to celebrate that. Thank you. That's huge. That is really huge for me. That even being in the same room with her and not fighting is huge for me. So I get to celebrate that. Okay. So I'm going to look at my mum as a celebration and really take that on and lean into that. This is huge. This is huge. Yes.
Yeah. I feel that. How would you like to celebrate right now?
Well, I really, my unicorn is taking this in and it talks to me. So the bloodstone also is something that runs through my body it's like it's keeping me more healthy. So just recognizing is a real celebration for me, a real celebration. So yeah, I think after this call, I'll make a cacao and really honor the spaces and the places where I had forgotten, because I can celebrate everything. Like I can celebrate for you. We're on this call. Yay! Woohoo! Full body. Celebrate the sunflower who's so gorgeous out there. But me and myself, the self-criticizer, gets to shut up and celebrating that I'm doing a good job. And I will sit with my mum when her moments are there and do it as lovingly as I can. Yeah.
So where else is your self-critic showing up other than with your relationship with your mom?
Probably with my daughter. If she has a thought of not good thoughts, that it's my fault. I didn't do something right, or, she's not a human with her own thoughts. It's my fault because I'm a mother, and maybe this is because of my mother that she's got these thoughts. And so I'm doing it there. That's all I can see right now, unless you hold a mirror up and reflect it back to me. That's all I can see.
Yeah. You are incredibly great at celebrating other people. And I feel like you are starting to practice more celebrating for yourself. But that's still something that I can almost feel you hesitating celebrating for yourself, even obviously with your mom stuff, because that's huge, like drawing you in. There's a lot of programming and all kinds of stuff there. But I wonder, like even in your business or personal life or other places where you're still not celebrating yourself, where it might be easier.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's almost like if I shine too bright and tell all, it's tall poppy syndrome. It's really, I didn't know this about me. So it's true. I hold back in my celebration on everything in case I shine too bright, in case I make too much money, in case it's nothing for me to celebrate the hell out of you when something good, or the hell out of my students. It's a really good, this is huge, Jess. I know we're just coming on for a play, right? On some level. I don't. Because also the story that happens is, or happened, you're too much, you're this, you're that. I can hear Penelope's really screaming right now. Stay quiet. Little girls should be seen and not heard. This is what it's in my heart as well. And I didn't have, without too much story, much of a childhood. So I grew up really quickly. And I always say to my daughter, I'm having my childhood now because I was so grown up. So this is really good. So, I get to celebrate. Like, I did go into the group the other day and say, win, but I didn't make it. I didn't come on and do a live or anything. I just was like typing away. And if you really knew me, you know I'm not like that. It's really interesting. Okay.
So what is something that you could celebrate for yourself right now from today or the past week that you could
Okay.
do a
Well, I
full
woke up.
body celebration?
I got a new client and I'm super excited. So I've got a package of 3 sessions, which she chose me. I didn't choose her, and she feels like a really good fit. And then I asked one of my friends / mentor, is it okay? And he said yes. So that was really lovely. So I can full body, like I'm just, it's like it's just integrating now. So funny. So I woke up to $2,000 I didn't expect in my bank account today. There you go. Woohoo!
Okay, but you're not celebrating how you would celebrate me. How would you celebrate me if I told you that?
Woohoo! Yes, I'm so excited. Let me pull a card for you. Let me pull a card for you right now. This is exciting. Abundance. Awesome. Let's go over the top with that. Yeah, you're right. So here it is. I put others before myself in their celebration. Fuck. That's huge. Yeah. Even in my business partner, I celebrate her way more than I would me. Okay, that's going to change right here, right now. Whoa!
Yes.
And I don't have to feel the big-headedness of that. It's, all the memories that are coming up. So even in saying that, like I got a memory of my dad, and I was coming home and I was about 8, and I said, because I used to work so hard, and I said, hey, I came second in a race today. And I remember his words like this, like he's right here, right now. How many were in the race? There mustn't have been many in the race. So that day was the day that I thought, well, there's no need to celebrate me. Let's just be a cheer squad for everyone else. Wow.
Can we full body celebrate your second place win in your foot race from when you were 8 years old now?
Foot race. Yes. Yeah, it was so good. I was doing 200. I didn't even know what 200 meters was because I'm Australian. I think you call it yards or something. But I was like, and I was so getting there to this person, but then their legs were longer than me and they just went past me. But I was like, and the funny thing is, no, my mum and dad weren't there. They never came to those sorts of things. So yeah, I did great.
You
Ta-da!
did amazing. Second place in a foot race.
Yeah, little legs, and they're still little. I hated running too. I had to go running. I don't know why they made me run. Yeah, I still hate running.
Me too.
Yeah. Wow.
But you got second place, and for a person who hates running, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Yeah, it's amazing how, as a little person, how quickly you can get knocked down, or how quickly I could get knocked down. And then it brings up the stuttering, because I couldn't speak like this when I was a kid. I could not read without going, just, and it took me years. So I get to celebrate getting over a stutter, which, yeah, I got over a stutter. This is all part for my book.
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Amazing.
So look at you and what you like. You've accomplished so much, and we've only touched like this much of it right now. Because again, if anyone has a chance to talk to Miriam more about her story, she's amazing.
So is Jess. Thank you. And I celebrate me. I allow, I deserve, I receive. Don't forget Jess. Thank you.
This is your session. Okay.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So, coming back to your mom, I
Yeah.
imagine that you have grown immensely with how you relate to her. Can you think
Yeah.
of what comes to mind when I say that? And let's celebrate that.
She survived the war, and she has told a story of being, every time a bomb went over in England or where, she was stuck under a table. Like they literally, she was one of three, she was the eldest, she was pushed under a table and told to be quiet. So why am I celebrating that?
I don't know. My
Okay.
question to you was, in your relationship with your mother over the years, I imagine you have done a better job of relating with her.
I have. I did a lot of protecting of Tess when she was little. That's my daughter. However, they've formed their own relationship now and they cook together. So I can celebrate that because I stepped out of the way and Tess wanted to. My mum's a fantastic baker. I don't like cakes and all of those sorts of things because they were forced on me. But Tess is really enjoying that. So I can celebrate their relationship, even though it happened later.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yahoo! Woohoo! Yes. So, and I had nothing to do with me. I can celebrate the way that she taught me how to save money. Like she always used to say things like, don't spend it all, which kind of also made me very cautious, but put a tenth away out for a rainy day. And I've always done that. So I can celebrate that. Like I'm one of the people that can be relied on if ever they need anything, that I can celebrate. I can celebrate that. Yeah.
So that's something that you learned from your mom. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I did. And I learned how to stick at a relationship rather than just walk out or hit or lash out or fight. I learned how to use my words because I witnessed what I didn't want, which is why I found out what I do want. So yeah, I can celebrate that.
And I think you get to celebrate that you did protect your daughter from your mom when she was a child.
Yeah, I tried it. I do get to celebrate that because I did try it on because, well, when you're a mum, you sometimes need some time off. So I thought, I'll just give it to my mum today. And it didn't work out so well, put it that way. And so that's when I decided to protect her more because she was super sensitive to food. And she had lied to me that she hadn't fed her something. And we sat her down on a little, and all that something came up. So I was like, yeah, I do get to celebrate because she could have ended up being really sick and in hospital. So yes, I do get to celebrate that rather than looking at, oh, we could have done it differently and la, 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 la. Yes, 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 I do get to celebrate that.
Yeah, you created a very clear boundary with your mom, which having a Jewish mother is hard to do with. It's hard to create boundaries with a Jewish mother, and you have done it.
Yes, darling, you're right. I have. And maybe I can actually celebrate that I am Jewish and a wise one on some level, because of the spirituality that I chose to look at rather than force religion on to me or people. So yeah, I feel very blessed about that. Really blessed about that. I get to celebrate that. Full body. Yes.
Yes.
This is thirsty work, Jess.
Yes, drink your water. Drink your water. Mmm.
I wasn't expecting this. Yeah.
Beautiful. Mm. Where else do you feel like you're too much and you don't shine as bright as you could?
When my daughter has her friends over, she's like, she brings them in and then she takes them out really quickly. So I've tried dimming my light, and I promised I would never do that. I've tried turning it up. So that would be one space or place. The rest, I think, in celebration, like I would call myself a celebration fun coach, something like that. If you want to learn how to play, come play with me. You know, we're going to, everywhere we go, we have fun, me and Peter. So yeah, it would be with my daughter, turn it down. Her vibration's a little low right now. She's finding her way, whereas I don't want to turn my vibration down. I literally skip to the hairdresser and go in there and go, feel these are amazing, these are ruby keepers, you got to feel these. And she's like, I don't have time for that, just for a second. Oh wow, took away my aches and pains, awesome. And then we get into it. So yeah, mainly my daughter, I would say. Not with Peter.
Yeah. So you promised yourself that you would never dim your light, and you are doing so with your daughter. Do you want to recommit to yourself not to dim your light anymore?
Yeah, I'm going to be me in every situation, whether she likes it or not. And hold space for her when she needs me, but she gets to ask. I'm not just going to. Yeah, so I'm going to create more boundaries in our house as well, because I just get to do that. So she's going to pay for her own haircut. She's got her own job. I'm not paying for those anymore. If you're watching this, Tess, sorry.
Good. And what a beautiful example, whether your daughter sees it now or not, but to show up fully in integrity with yourself and as you are, because what do you actually show her when you dim your light, as an example?
Good point. Got me. Yeah. Is that a question? I know what I show her. It means that I can be squished at any time, and that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not a good example to leave your daughter. And
yeah.
Again, whether she sees it now or not, eventually I have done this. I've taken on my mother's traits, whether I wanted to or not. And if she was feeling insecure about a thing, I have also felt insecure about that thing, and I have diminished myself, because that is just what we do with mothers and daughters, right?
I think it's humanity. I think it's just an interesting time to be in a skin suit called a body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get to be who you are with your mom too. If you choose to have tolerance in relationship or whatever with her, you get to be fully yourself in that space as well.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Have you ever been truly yourself with your mom?
Yeah, I have. One time that I can think of, we were doing it's probably the last family lunch I'd done. I dressed as a unicorn. It was a cold day and I had a unicorn onesie back then. And the whole family loved it. And my mum was like, is that all you could wear? And I go, well, just so you know, this is me. And so everyone had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time. And I felt judged. And that's okay.
Yeah, and you don't have to take on that energy, right? You're very good at understanding how energy works. And so just like you are welcome to have your thoughts and feelings about your mom, she's welcome to have her thoughts and feelings about you, but you don't have to take on that
It's true.
energy.
That's true.
So I wonder how you could separate that, because I think if you were learned how to separate that energy and not take it on, then it wouldn't affect you as much when you hear her voice.
Well, actually, if I feel into healing her voice, hearing her voice right now, I don't have the same charge, honestly. Like she could ring right now, and she probably will. She's quite psychic as well. Like this just didn't happen from nowhere. So was my dad. I wouldn't cringe. I would just take a few deep breaths and go, "Hi, how you going?" You know, just like I would with anyone else. Yeah, what are you up to? Which boyfriend you with? You know. She should be the masterful person on how to move on in relationship. That's my mum. I can celebrate that. She moves through things so quickly. Yes, that's so funny. They call her the Joan Collins of my family. I don't even know who Joan Collins is, but I'm assuming.
I don't either.
And she must be old. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, no. Good point. So when I next see her, which could be any time, I'm going to practice this and see what happens. Thought I was, but I'll go deeper.
And then my invitation to you would be to jump into our Marco Polo group every day for the next 5 days and celebrate something about yourself.
Thank you. That's a good, in my world, that's a stretch, and we call it SIP, Soul Integrated Practice, which is a celebration for homework. So I will do that. You got it. Every day celebrate something. Well, I am celebrating that I do love diving in the pool now, and it's not as painful, and therefore my body effects are much better. Because just so you know, people, it's freezing in Australia right now, and I've been diving in for how many months? Quite a lot now. Yeah. So yeah, I can celebrate that, and my new clients, and my healing, and my beautiful crystal grid that I just made before our call. So we were going there because the way that I put horses' heads there, and it's like, off with your head, Miriam. Like, yeah. Thank you, Jess.
Yes. And the other thing I wanted to invitation to you is with your business partner.
Yes.
When you get together with her, the next few times, celebrate yourself first before her.
Okay, I will. I'm going to write that down, and I will practice that. You have my word.
Yay!
Hey, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Because I could be tricky, but that was really good. No, my subconscious can be tricky. I can feel it in me, squirming, you know?
Penelope is a fun little person.
Yeah. I could draw Penelope. Don't you be doing that. She would have a little bit of Indian kind of, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you all for anyone who is tuning in or watching the replay. If you would like 30 minutes of free coaching, please let me know, and we set up a time just like this on a Tuesday or Wednesday if you're in Australia. And like, this is what we do. This is what coaching is all about, and I am giving away 30 minutes of free coaching every Tuesday. So let me know, and we can set up a time that works for you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Well, thank you.